Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior. Man, this stuff is live. You can't beat it when it's live. And when it messes up, like Joey messed up, then we can see what's going on. All right, now you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat. Then I'm coming across loud and clear. All right, and there we go. Man, Joey, why you messed up and made me look like a knucklehead live?
You broke it. I just want you to remind you that you did this.
Listen.
100%. This is.
I didn't do any of that.
This right here is all you.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Yes, Man, it's a good thing I love. It's a good thing that I love you like a brother. Huh? Wow, whatever. Anyway, Christian said, rest in peace to Queen. News, if you haven't heard yet, Queen Elizabeth died today. So that's unfortunate, sad. She lived a good, long life, that's for sure. Mash Luxury Transportation says 200 likes, and Glenn will tell us how to put our hands together and type ooh-wee at the same time. There's got to be a trick to it. Wow. All right. Well, listen, we got a lot of people up in here. You know what I want you to do? If you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon. But what I really want you to do is, because if you feel that we bring really good, valuable information, share this link and do it now. Share this link with the people in your social circles to let them know that we're on right now and we can help them grow their portfolios. Whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube, that's the big thing that I would like for you to do right now, is to share it and then afterwards hit the like button. All right, so we got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to get right into it. Starting off what, we keep talking about, and you heard us, whether it's me, whether it's Patrick, or whether it's anybody, is it time to bottom fish yet? And I've got the news that tells us that I still don't think that it's time to bottom fish yet. I still think that we've got some downside left in the market by way of our VectorVest indicators. Excuse me. And we're going to go from there. And do I think that we can have a little bit of a bullish run if we do hit a market bottom? The answer to that question is yes. But there's certain things that you need to look for before you can actually determine whether the market is at a bottom or not. And because with the rising volatility in the market right now, we're going to be susceptible to big swings throughout the day. Up in the morning, down in the afternoon, down in the afternoon, up in the morning, that kind of thing. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. It makes it a little tougher to trade right now, especially if you're trading contras, because on a good up day, they're going to lose you money. And then you're in a long stock and then the market is down. Today, or right about now in the current market's conditions, you have to be nimble like a cat on a hot tin roof. Yeah, I like that. Nimble. You like that, Joey? Doesn't matter if you like it or not. You need to be nimble. No, it doesn't matter. You need to be nimble like a cat on a hot tin roof. So uranium is still beating the market. Dan, you are absolutely right. Uranium is still the hottest industry that we have in the software. And you're going to be surprised, maybe not be surprised. There's only two industries that are really rocking and rolling, uranium and one other one. And I'll bring that to the forefront at the right time as well. All right. With all of that being said, let's move to what's going on in the market by way of news. And we'll start there. So the news is still all bad, right? The news is still all bad. Wall Street slips on Powell's sticks as Powell sticks to the hawkish stance. He talked this morning during the Jockey Club. We saw the market pull back a little bit as the Fed was talking, and he's doubling down, folks. He's going to be hawkish on the market. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's aggressively going to go after inflation. And in order to do that, he's going to aggressively keep going with the raises. How many of you think, I'm going to ask two questions. How many of you think he's going to stick with the 75 basis points? Type of 1, if you think he is. Type of 2, if you think he's going to go lower or higher. All right. Type of 1, if you think he's going to stick with the 75 basis points. Type of 2, if you think he's going to go lower or higher. After you answer that question, I see the ones coming in. Kenny says 2. Didn't say whether lower or higher, but put a 2. All right, you could throw a dart right now and get rich. I'm not going to say that too much, Charles, because you can throw a dart, hit a bullish stock, and the next day the market goes down, especially if we're still in an overall downtrend. I don't know if you can get rich doing that. Not right now. The market's not at that in that sort of situation where we can do that. Paul says 1 for Mr. Transitory. And again, he's never going to live that down until he dies about calling inflation transitory. All right. So now let me ask another question. How many of you, knowing that he's willing to put the economy in some form of harm, well, not harm, but pain, more so pain, how many of you think like your Uncle Glenn that he will raise the interest rate by 1 basis point at some point in time before this is all over? Type of 1 if you believe that, type of 2 if you don't believe that. All right, so that's the next question. How many of you think that before this is said and done, if he's aggressively going this way, that he will raise the interest rates by 1 basis point before all of this is done and over? I see a lot of 2s coming in. And I think that he will do it because he's already said that what he's doing will cause the economy some harm. So I see a lot of 2s. And, again, there's no right or wrong to this. This is just an opinion. Just trying to see what you think about it. This is just an opinion. I think after this meeting, Powell isn't going to do anything until he talks to the Fed Governor Glenn. That's what I like, John. But I'm not going to be Fed governor. Why? I keep telling you, I got too many skeletons in my closet to be a Fed governor. He hasn't the testicular fortitude to be that aggressive. Ooh. Do you know Mr. David Paul? All right, so that's one story that's out there. The Fed is always a day late and a dollar short, and because of that, Paul, I think that he will overshoot one of these times. Fed follows the 2-year 100% correlation over the last 40 years. There you go, Mash. All right, and Roger says, and Maria says she agrees with Roger that he doesn't have the testicular fortitude. All right, next story. How about the ECB? They did raise their interest rates by 75 basis points to tame the record inflation. So we all know that inflation is global. All right. This is a good story that I like because you know how I stand on the EV side. Mercedes-Benz and Rivian plan JV to make an electric vans in Europe. All right. And I'm thinking that the electric vans or the electric vehicles are going outside of just the scope of vehicles. And the U.S. Postal Service already said that they're going to get a whole bunch of electric vehicles. Amazon got a whole bunch of electric vehicles. They put in an order for that as well, electric vans. So I think that that's going to be another expanding part of the whole EV space is the commercial side. Now, how about this one? Staying on the EV side, GM is betting on its electric Equinox. Look at that price, though. A lot of people, when I talk about EVs, talk about how expensive the vehicles are. How about starting at $30,000? Now, I'm sure that $30,000 is not going to have any bells and whistles. All right, and they're not going to have any bells and whistles. It's going to be a basic car. But everybody who's been complaining about how unaffordable the EVs are, Tesla's already going after that market, trying to make them less expensive. GM is now trying to do that as well. So the demand for the EVs are there, and I'm still thinking that as the demand grows, these EV companies are going to have to put out lesser expensive vehicles in order to get more and more people on board. How many of you would actually consider buying this EV at $30,000? Type of 1 in the room. How many of you will still stay away from EVs right now? Type of 2. How many of you would consider a $30,000 EV? Now, 30,000 batteries not included. Yeah, the battery is included. I still got a lot of people who are against the EVs. And, I hear you. The whole reason why I talk about it as much as I do is I want to give you guys the opportunities to make monies on these vehicles, especially if the demand is picking up. Some assembly required? No, that's only if you buy the EV from IKEA. If you buy the EV from IKEA, then you got to put it together. All right. So, Mark, Nope, we got it, and I don't think IKEA is going to be selling the EVs. All right, next one. Another clean energy company, Plug, bags the largest order in Europe, stock up. And you know something? I love when you start to see clean energy EVs pick up orders on the goods that they have. Now, the other side of it is, are they going to be able to provide the services? EV battery could spike 22% by 2026 as raw material shortages drag on. And you know something, even if that's the case, will people still buy it? That's a question. I don't know. I don't know if people will still buy it or not as much. But I think the push towards going after the lower dollar vehicles in the space is probably a good time. It's probably a good time. I know I'm going to look at EMPH today, Charles. I'll do that. And ZROZ, listen, all these stocks that you're putting in here, on Wednesdays when me and Patrick are on, I ask you guys, we put a link out there on our YouTube channel. What stocks would you like us to look at? That's where you put those stocks that you're looking at right here, or that you want us to look at right here. Put them in that. There is a link or a post in our YouTube chat that you can utilize to put those stocks that you want Patrick and I to look at on Wednesdays. All right, so that's the news. Let's go into what's going on. This is what the indices look like today. All of them are up. The Qs are flat. They keep bouncing between flat and down. All the other major indices are up as well. Let's go up to the graphs. And let's do this. Let's go back to the viewers. Let's highlight these all. Right click. View the stock graph. Let me bring this over, and let's go look at all four of them real time today. Let's go look at all four of them real time. I usually do this on midday market, but I'll do it here today. Let's go look at all four live. There's the spiders. They gap down. It looks like all of the major indices gap down today as we look a little bit. And then they rebounded. They just all hit afternoon highs. All of them look like they hit afternoon highs, pulled back, and now running back up going into the close. And again, these swings that you're seeing on all of these are indicative of the high volatility in the market, with the VIX above the value of 20 and rising today. So the fear factor the fear factor in the market is still high by way of the volatility. Charles says, I believe NIO will come into the American market. It will be just like Toyota and Hondas all over the place. Remember, NIO was supposed to be the Chinese Tesla. It just never worked out that way. So we'll see. EVs, you serious? Can't afford a Fred Flintstone joint. Kareem, you can't. Listen, you got to get you something. All right. So listen, I'm telling you, EVs, at least from the perspective of you guys making money, is still there for you. All right. Are we in a bull market trap? I honestly think, and let's go put on the VectorVest composite over the last month. And here we are. And here's our indicators that let us show that the market is looking for a bottom. Looking at the MTI and the buy to sell ratio, we never really got below those levels of where the market was looking for to dictate a bottom. A nice up day yesterday, some follow through today. On an end of day basis, the 3 is still not above the 8. We're looking at the indices today. They're up, but not by a lot. You can tell a lot by that bar, not nearly as big as it was yesterday. And we never got below those levels of 0.6 and 0.2 on the MTI and the buy to sell ratio, respectively. So we'll just let the market go the way that it is. But I think that the news behind the market is still dictating that we're going to still be in a downtrend for a little bit. We can still get a bounce. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Are we possibly getting a bounce? Possibly, but let's let the market come to us. Let's wait for the 3 to cross above the 8. Let's also, let me close this. Let's also wait on our homepage. Let's wait at least for a primary wave up. We did. We got a primary wave up today. Good. Googly moogly. I didn't realize that until just now. I'm glad we looked at it. We got a primary wave up. That's the first step. That's the first step to say that maybe we did have a bottom and we're moving up. And now we're only 2 days off of the bottom. If that's the case, the primary wave is now up, which means the market has moved higher on a week over week basis. For those of you who are a little bit more aggressive, you might want to dip your toe in the water and find something bullish to buy from a bottom fishing perspective. I'd really like to see the 3 cross above the 8 on an end of day basis, but the primary wave is up. But because it's the fastest signal, it could be just down tomorrow. Glenn, give us some primary wave advice. I just did that. All right, the primary wave is up. Today is a day. Markets are up. They're not up by a lot. If you're looking for something from a bottom fishing perspective within the VectorVest software, if you go to the Unisearch tool, we have searches bottom fishing that you can pay attention to. There they are. If today is a day with the primary wave, if it closes up that way, we've got a lot of different searches. And the best one that we have in here is probably jailbreak no contras. If you run that real quick, take a look at some of the top 10 stocks that are in here and see which ones are moving up nicely. That's probably a good way to go. But the primary wave is up. But the day is not over. All right, the day is not over, and we'll have to see if it stays up for the day. All right, so that's what I've got. That's what I've got from the market today. Just real quick, I'm going to segue into, we've got a guest today, especially if you want to learn a lot about options. This is a good time to pay attention to what our guest has to say. And as Joey brings him up on the screen, of course, his name is Jim Penna. And I'm going to bring him on and let him talk to you about what he's got going on.
I turned my mic on first. That helps. How you doing, Glenn?
Hi,
everyone. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for allowing me on for a couple of minutes. Boy, I could do an hour talking about what you just talked about on the market. I'm writing notes down here. I got opinions that I'm ready to spew, but I'm going to hold them all in. Hold them all in. But what I am going to talk about is because of the market, because of the volatility. By the way, the VIX is down today. And I
it was up earlier this morning.
It's down now.
Okay.
Turn your speakers down.
No, me.
Is that better, Joey? Sorry. I would be using any green to play the market to the downside. I wouldn't. That's just my take. That's my personal opinion on the overall market, but rather than bottom fishing to buy here. But anyway, what I want to talk about just for a moment is that given this market and given what's going on, I'm going to talk a little bit about options. Okay, why are they so important? Now, I'm going to give you guys a little preview of this week's special presentation that I'm.
Glenn, turn them down some more, please.
Talk a little bit about the power of VectorVest building and managing your portfolio. Glenn did a great strategy last week. Steve did one a few weeks ago. Todd did one. I did one. I don't know how good it was, but I did one. And it's talking about the power of VectorVest, knowing when to buy, what to buy, when to sell. All unbelievably important. But what I'm going to talk about this week, as well as in the International User Group session on Saturday, are options. Right now, options are the financial instruments that provide you, the individual investor, with the flexibility that you need in any market situation. So are you bearish? Are you thinking that you want to go out and buy something instead of laying out, larger amounts of cash? You have the ability to use the power of leverage, go out and, buy some calls. You have to pick a stock. I don't know. It's hard enough picking the market direction these days, let alone a stock. How about on what Glenn had up there? You had the Qs, SPY, whatever other index you want to track. But it's options that's going to allow you that flexibility, that power to manage your portfolio in a much better way. And I'm going to talk about that, as a matter of fact, today at 4:30 in a webcast, talking about options for anybody who might be new to options, or if you are familiar with options but just haven't had the ability or the discipline to put a technique or a plan together. Glenn, if you could maybe bring up the page there. And you can join me. It's a free session today at 4:30. I'd love to have you there. But now more than ever, it's an added tool to your arsenal, right? It's an added tool, and what it does is allow you, first and foremost, and the most important thing for me is to protect your portfolio. And when to do it, the more green I see here, the more bearish I get. I'm looking at my screen on the other screen. Right, the more green I see, the more reason I see to buy protected puts, to protect my net worth, to protect my equity portfolios. And then the trader side of me finds all the more reasons the more green I see to add to my already short position in the Qs. So just another outlook on the market. The VectorVest market timing system is an amazing tool. We use it for options. We use it for stocks. That's the way I use it. But, one thing we don't talk about a lot is the market climate graph. I know we look at headlines and we look at, what's the market doing based on some headline. I see these headlines that say, the market is on hold waiting for Powell to speak. I just don't, to a degree that's true if there's a major, speech or Fed numbers coming out. But just generally speaking, this market doesn't go on what might be a headline today. There are macro elements going on in the market, and one of our underused tools in the program, quite frankly, is the market climate graph that we have. Inflation's rising, interest rates are rising, right? And earnings on the earning trend indicator are falling. Watch Dr. Delito's presentation, how the market works, and tell me, where you think the market's going from here. Anyway, join me today, 4:30 today. We're going to talk about options. I believe in this market, a very important technique, process, whatever you want to call it, a weapon to have to be able to protect your portfolio and profit in both an upward or downward trending market. And Glenn, with that, I'll turn it back to you. Thank you for the time.
I love what Jim always has to say. Jim, I'm going to let you answer another question. Question is, then should you buy gold? My answer to that is no. What do you say?
My answer is, if you're buying gold, right? GLD now, not gold miners, but gold. I wouldn't be, listen, you got to size these positions, right? If I sit here and say, yeah, you should be long some gold, I don't mean 80% of your portfolio should be in gold. Gold, unfortunately, and there's another thing on the market climate graph. I wish I had the ability to bring it up. Put up gold, go to the performance graph. You don't have to do it, Glenn, but I'm just saying for you guys, if you want to, put up gold, GLD, and then put up. I use for the dollar. I use UUP. Right? There is historically an inverse relationship between gold and the dollar. The dollar, I believe, is up again today. It's at record highs, actually, against some foreign currencies. So that would tell you that I would be a little leery of gold right now. However, I believe in a bigger picture that now is not the worst time to be building positions. Right? Again, maybe not pushing all your chips on the table at this point. But even if I buy puts or short the Qs, I don't push all my chips on the table at one time. Right? So Qs continues to go higher, I'll continue to grow my position.
I'm going to put it on a 6-month graph. Gold, the UUP is green and gold is the other color.
Right, and you see that inverse relationship, generally speaking. But gold, where it is now, may be a time where you can begin to start a position there. I'm not saying, oh, go put everything. Please understand, I'm not recommending that you all go buy gold today. Someone asked the question, and I'm giving my answer. I think as a part of an overall protective or prudent portfolio, that gold is not the worst thing to be in right now.
All right. So with that being said, Jim's got a presentation today in regards to a better understanding of options, why it's important. I need VV Nation to go out and support him on our YouTube channel today at 4:30. He will be on, and especially if you're new to options, you want to learn more about options, this is a great person to learn from, and it's a great way to dip your foot into the water, into the waters of options, all right? And I liked his analysis in regards to Dan's question about buying gold. I've not been bullish on gold in a minute. But look at the dollar, and I'm the same way. I like to use the UUP for the dollar. The dollar's moving up and gold is moving down. That normally is what happens. And right now, while the dollar's gaining, gold is getting beat. Got to wait for it to go the other way around. All right, so I'm not ready. Jim thinks that it's okay to have some gold at some point. I'm not ready for gold yet. I'm just not. And that's the beautiful thing about differing opinions. That's the beautiful thing about different.
For all of you to go buy some.
Huh? Don't be putting me. Don't be putting me out there.
Because you're against it.
Listen, I'm finna kick you off.
You're against it. More people should be going on.
Oh gosh, I hate you. I'm still gonna kick you off. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate it, man. And again, remember, folks, go support him today at 4:30 on our YouTube channel. Mark says, "Why so many talk shows on Thursdays?" Forget you, Mark, too. Forget you too. All right, thank you, Jim. See you later, buddy.
Take care.
How about crypto? Maria, really? I'm not ready for crypto either. What tells you anything is... Crypto had a little bit of run. I'm not feeling crypto just quite yet either. Crypto is still in you know where crypto is? Crypto's here. That's where crypto is. I'm not ready for crypto yet. You know, are we gonna, and they keep calling this the crypto winter. Is the spring and the summer and the fall gonna come back? I don't know. At some point in time, I guess so. But I'm so not ready for a crypto either. All right. Now that we covered the news, now that we covered our guest, now the rest of this is on what stocks I need you guys to keep your eyes on. All right. Let's go to my viewers tab. And let's see what I got going. Big news stocks. So the stocks that made the news. Oh, I didn't do that yet. Let's go into the news. Let's finish talking about what's going on in the news. Oh, I did talk about what all is going on in the news. Man, I'm a little slow. Plug is here. Rivian and General Motors is in here as well. All of them are going up. Let's go take a look at them on a longer term basis. Even though they made the news, let's go see if... Oh, yeah, Joey. All right. Let's go see if they're worth it for us to get into them. Let's view the stock graph, put these on a 3-month graph, pull them up. Let's go see. So, Plug made the news. Let's go see if they are worth it for us to keep on our radar for a minute. Wait for the graph to come up. Ooh, Plug. What don't I like about it? Look at the graph. What don't I like about it? Anybody? What don't I like about Plug? I like the earnings. I'm liking that. Talk about that. I'm looking at the price graph from the bottom left to the top right, but earnings is trending down. Always be leery or cautious, even if a stock hits the news, if they're not making money, that's a tough thing. That's a tough thing. The name, Plug, what is that? GW, what's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with Plug. All right, all depends how you looking at Plug. But yeah, there's no engine. Drew is right. Manufacturers are developing luxury EV models before expanding into cheaper mass market models, a typical approach with new technology. And it is, but I'm thinking, with the demand, they're going to have to come to the table with lower dollar cars. GM and Ford, by the way, are putting a lot of emphasis into their EV space. Bottom left, not bottom, most recently coming off this low, nicely moving up, sitting in a channel above the 20-day exponential moving average. Can we replace the EPS number and call it bacon? I'd love to, but no. And this bacon don't look so good either. So you think about companies whose earnings per share are falling. They're trying to do something different to turn the company around to bring earnings back up to the forefront. So they're doing, whatever they can. They will buy companies. They will lay off people, a whole bunch of different things. But watch it when a company's earnings, and for like the last couple of months, the earnings have been flat. They've fallen from 3 months ago, but flat over the last month or so. So just keep that on your radar. I do like that it's moving up, but earnings catches my attention. The same thing with Rivian. Rivian, nice bounce off support, a little level of a hammer going above the 20-day. A nice bar on volume, but earnings is steadily falling. So even though these stocks made the news, I'm telling you to keep your eyes open because they have earnings that are falling. All right, hottest industries. I've only got 2 industries that are making money in this particular market, and they are contra ETFs and uranium. So my hottest industries, let me show you how I found it. Going to the Unisearch tool, go up to the Delta Searches Industries, and I've created a search that's looking at RT, only something you can find in VectorVest, looking at momentum, looking at the short-term price trend on these industries. And I'm looking at the industries' relative timing delta or change, percentage change. And I'm looking at ETF shorts. 10 days ago, the delta was at 13%. Over the last 10 days is up to 30%. Big momentum move. And the same thing for uranium. 10 days ago, the delta or the percentage change on relative timing was 1.77. Over the last 10 days, up 14. Those are the only 2 that are really rocking and rolling. So my hottest industries for this week happen to be ETF shorts and uranium. And when I go back to the viewers, that's what makes up these 10 stocks. I've got 5 uranium stocks and I've got 5 contra ETFs. On a down day, and I'm going to let all you people know, there's 2 things. 1, never buy a contra or an inverse ETF on an up day like today, number 1. Number 2, make sure whatever ones you get into, if they're leveraged, you want to be very, very, very careful with those because they're leveraged 2 or 3 times. But when the index goes up, you're still leveraged now to the downside 2 or 3 times. Anytime you have an up day, when you're buying leveraged contra ETFs, you need to consider cutting those quickly so that you don't bring on big losses in those positions. And then look at all my top 5 of uranium stocks. They're all rock and rolling today. So let's go take a look at those. I'm going to take a look at the uranium stocks. We all know what contras are and what they do and how they work. We've got videos out on them. DNN, Denison Mines, real close to a 3-month high on it. Nice open candle. URG, close to a 3-month high. Nice open candle. Looking at UUU, not close to now this one, when I look at UUU, watch the earnings on it. The other ones had rising earnings. All right. This one does not. So if I'm looking for a play on uranium, be careful with the UUU. It may be moving up because the industry is moving these stocks up. But watch the earnings. The engine behind it is not so good. Same thing with UEC, sitting a little bit of a consolidation pattern right now, even though it's above the 20-day. But look at the earnings stair step down. If I'm going to play this space, I want to play the stocks that have rising earnings like CCJ, very close to a 3-month high. So understand that the uranium stocks that have earnings that are falling are still rising because the momentum of the industry is pulling those stocks up. So I'm giving you a better feel of which uranium stocks to buy by way of not only going up in price, but have rising earnings as well. All right, so I've got 5 of them in here. LEU is a top rated. Is LEU in here? You said it's a top rated. I'm giving you the top rated. I was giving you the top rated by VST in the software. I was giving you the top rated. Let's go to Unisearch. Actually, let's go to viewers. Let's go to the industry viewer. And let's go. Uranium should be the number 1 industry. Should be the number 1. Wow. And it went down. It's number 3. All right. It's number 3. Let's view the stocks in that industry. As I do that, you're telling me that LEU is the top rated, right, Paul? And by way of VST, you are absolutely right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. For some reason, it didn't make my list, but you're absolutely right. By way of value, safety, and timing, LEU is the top rated one. So there you go. UEC is in the top 10. UROY is in the top 10. So this is a good way, if you're looking at the space, to see where to put your money. Not only is it the top VST, it's actually the fastest moving one as well. LEU, let's go take a look at that graph. LEU, look at that intraday graph today, put on a 3-month graph, nicely above the 20-day, real close to The 3-month high earnings is still rising. So there you are. You are absolutely right, Paul. And by way of using the system, I went to be able to make a better decision. All right. So there we go. All right. Let's go back to my watch list viewer. All right. So those are the only 2 hottest industries that I have going into the week is contra ETFs and uranium. Short plays. Let's go to short. For all my aggressive players, I'm looking at a search called percentage price boomers. These are stocks that are up today. Let's go look at the top 4. These are stocks that are all up today. View the stock graph. Put this on a 1-month graph. And big move. Do I like this short-term play? Nope. A lot of looks like a lot of profit taking today. So it was moving up nicely today, but I'm not feeling it. This one, LFST, nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average. A little bit of selling pressure, but above average volume. I'm not worried about earnings per share on this if this is a short-term play. 3 days in a row. Well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, this stock has gone up. It is clearly above the 20-day. A little bit of selling pressure today, but big open candle on big volume. Still like it short term. Arlay. Again, I'm not worried about earnings. I'm worried about bottom left, top right. A little bit of selling pressure, big volume today. I'd make sure that it's going higher than the high before I buy. Asan. Big volume today, nicely jumped above the 20 exponential moving average, right at a level of resistance. I'd link about 12 cents higher than the high. So those are my short-term plays for you guys out there, looking at stocks that are going up at least 10% so far today. Swing trades. How many of you are swing traders? Type a 1 in the room. How many of you are swing traders? Type a 1 in the room. Dan says, uranium futures look great to move on higher. Again, I still think that is a form of clean energy. The power plants, the uranium that are going to be used in nuclear power plants is definitely a way to go. All right, so I got a lot of 1s in here. That's a good thing. And from the perspective of swing trades, these are stocks that I'm willing to hold for a couple of days to a couple of weeks. I really got to see these graphs are definitely moving higher, right? Let's go graph all of them. Not that. Who keeps changing that? Let's go click on graph all. All right. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph since these are swing trades. Look at that. Bottom left, top right, new 3-month high, earnings per share rising. Love it. From a swing trade perspective, I love it. Loving it. What is it doing? It's taking off like an airplane. Definitely love that. ENPH. Somebody wanted me to talk about ENPH. I told you we were going to talk about it today. Right there at a 3-month high above the 20-day after being in a level of consolidation sitting between support and resistance. Broke through resistance yesterday, followed through today, new 3-month high. Love the earnings per share. That's another one of my swing trades today. CEG, Energy Clean. Love the earnings per share. Bottom left, top right after being in consolidation. New 3-month high sitting at above the level of the 20-day exponential moving average. MNTK, love the earnings per share and love the move up. Even on the pullback, the stock's price stayed above the 20-day exponential moving average and is currently close to the 3-month high. And my last one is NSCC. I used to work in this industry, in the Bergen fire alarm industry. In case you did not know, I am a salesman by trade. I used to work in the Bergen fire alarm industry. NAPCO is a big panel that provides security and fire panels, as well as other things like motion detectors and a lot of different things. So I know this company, of this company. I've sold a lot of their product way back in the day when I was a salesman, but you can't argue the tape. Bottom left, top right, rising earnings. This is a company that's doing it all right. Look at that. From a swing trade perspective, this is definitely a stock I would not mind holding. Beautiful. You could put a ruler on this. This would be what we call a ruler stock. Bottom left, top right. From a swing trade perspective, folks, hopefully those are some good stocks for you. How many speculators out there? How many of you a little bit more aggressive? Type a me in the room. How many of you a little bit more aggressive in your picks and want some speculative picks? Glenn, don't forget about insurance. Good place to be. I absolutely, I'm with that, Dan. That insurance is a good place to be. It's a good recession-proof way to invest in the market. I don't have a lot of speculators in here. Now, understand that when I look at speculating on stocks, I need relative value and relative safety to be below 1. I don't want these stocks to be fundamentally sound, but I do want these stocks to be in uptrends. All right, I do want these stocks to be in uptrends. And as we look at their graphs, we're going to be able to determine whether or not they're going to stay that way. Let's go put this on a 1-month graph, and let's go change my moving averages to the 3 and the 8. Change the graph layout to GETR trade. All right, there we go. From a trade perspective, looking at speculative plays. Now I'm looking at volume, I'm looking at relative timing, and I'm looking at 3 and the 8s. New 1-month high on Nordic American Tank, a transportation company. I'm no longer in DSX, which was my transportation stock. I got out of it last week, I do believe. But the 3 and the 8 crossed 3 days ago. 3 days in a row, the stock is going up on good volume. As a speculative play that does not have any fundamentals behind it, I do like it from a technical standpoint that it is going up. TRCT, drug biomedical, 3-month high, down day to day, but definitely bottom left, top right. RT is leveling off, so could the momentum be slowing down? Possibly. If you're in it, leave it alone. If you're not, wait. This one, IMRA, what I don't like about this, though, is that it's like a parabolic move on it. A lot of selling pressure. Even though it's a speculative play, I'd be careful with this one. Next one is CBIO. Consolidating. I'm not feeling this, even though it's a speculative play. I'm not feeling this right now. Let's go. I do like ARDX, a little bit of selling pressure. Look at the above volume days. RT is running up. Momentum's picking up. New 3-month high. I do like that as a speculative play. Next one, AGMH. Nope, not feeling that, even though it's a speculative play. It's coming off of that high. The 3 is about to cross below the 8. The volume's not there. RT is starting to fall. I'm not feeling that as a speculative possible play. RVLP, though, I do like. Down day today. Clearly, still the 3 is above the 8. Volume is okay. RT is slowing up a little bit, as the stock could be slowing down a little bit. If you're in it, leave it alone. If not, notice that for the whole 1 month, the 3 and the 8 kept you in, even on the down days. You got to love using something like the 3 and the 8. MITQ, bottom left, top right. Even though it broke through resistance a couple of days ago and tested it yesterday, still above it today, I'd like to see it take out that 1-month high and watch volume. And the last stock is APAM. I'm not feeling that one right now either, even though it's a speculative play. So I've hopefully, for those people who are speculative, I've picked out some stocks for you to pay attention to. Day trade plays. All right, I get these from the Derby. Let's go see if any of these are still worth it to day trade today. Woo! SHPH made its money this morning, fell hard. Not feeling that from a day trade now. Now, AMRS is still giving you opportunities today from a day trade. If you go 5 cents higher than the high, this stock has been rocking and rolling, even though it pulled back, found the level of support, bounced off 3 and the 8, kept you in it. Watch it now, but the stock, even as we're into the afternoon, has been giving you opportunities to buy. Curve is not so curvy. Ain't so sexy, is it? Nope. From a day trade, it made its money earlier this morning and not giving you that opportunity. Now, Golden Ocean, though, right trading right at today's session high or a session of resistance. If it can break back above that prior to the market close, you might have a little bit of opportunity still. And the last stock, EAR, made its money this morning and now sitting in consolidation. My picks. I got some picks that I got for you this week. These are good, solid stocks that I want you to keep your eyes on. Let's go auto fit all the columns. This is a mining play, Cheniere Energy, ARLP, Matador, Cross County Health. These are all good, solid stocks that are undervalued, for the most part are fundamentally sound, going up, and they all have positive earnings growth rate. So this is the last set. These are my personal picks for you this week. 3-month graph, PILBF. Gotta love it. Bottom left, top right. LNG, little pullback, but I think it's going to have some good upside. It's still fundamentally sound, still in an uptrend. I'd wait for the 3 to go above the 8. ARLP sitting in a sideways motion right now, but still undervalued, still fundamentally sound. I want you to keep this on your radar. A Matador right now testing a level of support of 56.45. Let's see if it can bounce back up and move up. This is another petroleum stock. I do like CCRN as it's starting to move up right now, coming off of that hammer formation, reversal, moving up. I'd like to see it get to the 1 month high. All right, Joey, put me on my last screen. That's it. That's it for today, folks. We covered a lot of stuff. As we look at the market right now, primary wave is still up. Let's see if it can close with an up. Again, the news for the most part, folks, is still bearish. Jim is right. Even with the green, he's still bearish. I think that we can still get a bump up in the market. I just need the market to officially find the bottom. I need the market to officially find the bottom. Anybody got any questions? John, I can't afford Cafe Bustelo. Why can't you go get you some cafe? You need me to get you some Cafe Bustelo, Roger? I got you. All right, I got you. I got plenty of Cafe Bustelo. If the world were to end today, I will die drinking Cafe Bustelo. If nothing else, I'll just be drinking me some Cafe Bustelo. My wife makes sure I got enough Cafe Bustelo. I went to buy in a U.S. shop. You went to go, what? Cafe Bustelo not that expensive. I need to see if Cafe Bustelo will sponsor us. That'd be good. That'd be good. As much as I talk about them, that'd be good if they sponsored us. Well, we'll see though. They may not like me enough to do that. All right, folks. Hopefully you guys got some great information out of today. We got 67 likes. You know me, I like to try to get to 100 likes. If it was worth it for you to spend some time with us today, hit the like button. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted to when new videos or live streams like this come out. Dan says, beautiful stock picks. You know, I've been doing a lot more of looking at stocks and a lot less of looking at the news because that's what you guys want. Do you drink the espresso? Yes, John, I do. I do drink the one with the espresso. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. And Joey, thank you for always being you because I love you like a brother. All right, with that, folks, say again.
You're welcome, Glenn.
All right, I better be welcome or else I'll fight you. I just took that moment away, didn't I?
You're gonna walk over and you're gonna limp back.
Wow. That's the cricket sign for you. You get the cricket sign. All right. You guys have a great day. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Till next time, folks. See ya.